Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast. About to have the loudest.
Welcome to an oral review of Archie Comics' Sonic the Hedgehog, informing you that according to the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation, I know the word. France's National Navy has approximately 240 nuclear weapons currently deployed to its 4 nuclear-powered submarines. Each of the 4 Triumph-class nuclear ballistic missile submarines contain 16 missiles, with each missile containing 6 to 10 warheads. So the 240 number is actually on the low end. So yes, France has a navy. I'm Nick, and except for this intro, I wrote the script.
And I'm Dominic. And except for this intro, I haven't read any of the script.
Normally I say, what are we reading today? Not today, because we have a review for you.
Yes.
Dominic, for my birthday, as many of you know, I had a birthday recently. I assume everyone keeps track of when my birthday is. It's October 12th. I expect gifts next year. And so...
They'll give it.
Yeah, no, I don't. Your gift is listening to this podcast. So Dominic was very kind and was like, I'm going to get you a gift. And he took me to the...
Sonic Symphony.
Thank you. Sonic Symphony.
At the Auditorium Theater in downtown Chicago.
What did you think of the symphony?
I thought it was fantastic. I had not been to something like that since I went to Video Games Live. I was 15 years old, give or take, and it was Video Games Live at the Chicago Theater, I believe, and that was really awesome. So this brought me back to those happy memories, and we made new happy memories watching basically a concerted touring orchestra for the first third of the concert. And then finally, after that, a rock band took over like the latter 2/3 of the whole event, as supported still by the orchestra who was there the whole time.
Yeah,
and it was pretty freaking rad.
My review, they should only play music from Sonic Adventure. So already that was a miss, but that's, they can't be perfect. No. They can't be perfect. And I guess there's probably other good music out there. I just don't know it. So it was split into 2. It was the symphony for the first half, and the second half was a rock band. I was mentally prepared for a symphony, hence the name Sonic Symphony. I wasn't mentally prepared for a rock concert, and so... while the rock concert was very good, I wasn't in the right headspace.
What headspace do you need to be for it?
Not high.
Wait. Hold on. So you were going to get high for an orchestra.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to get high for a rock band?
I want to get drunk for a rock band.
Okay. I thought you were going to say sober, but if that's the case...
No. For symphony, weed relaxes me. I want to sit down, enjoy things. That's what I want. And then this fucker comes on the stage and he's like, everyone stand up.
You know those things that say no photography, no videography? Crumple it up your head, throw it away. Why don't you take as many photos and videos as you want? Number 2, this is a rock show, so I need you to stand up. I need you to sing along. Number 3, most important. Have fun.
Everyone get out out your lights and we're gonna start like rocking. And I'm like,
You were dead still for like a lot of it. It was really funny.
I was like Otto in The Simpsons when he's seeing like a concert and everyone's like standing up around him like cheering and he's sitting down in his chair and he's like, sit down, you're ruining the concert for everyone else. That was me. I was like, why aren't we all sitting? No, it was very good. I would have definitely appreciated it more if I was in the right headspace, and next year I will be.
I guess I just assumed that you would look it up and see like at least the
I
rock
knew
band part.
literally nothing. You were
Okay.
just like, we're going to this, and I was like, okay.
Oh, okay. So you don't usually research things that you're.
I mean, when
I'm not being sarcastic. Like,
yeah, no,
I want to know how you operate.
Well, I felt the name was obvious. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sonic Symphony.
To be
I'm
fair-
expecting a symphony.
There was a symphony, but they also added the rock band like for 60 to 70% of it.
I mean, it was half
Or at least
and
it
half.
felt like that. You think it was half?
Actually, no, I do think the rock band went longer than the symphony part.
Yes, which I'm personally cool with, but they were very, very good. And they were clear lovers of the music and a bunch of nerds. But for me, I think because there were definitely some older members of the symphony, of the string and the string section in particular, which is not a diss on them. I just think it would be really funny if some of them were like disgruntled former
like CSO.
Chicago Symphony Orchestra, Juilliard people who are like, I'm playing for these motherfuckers. Have you seen the movie Tar starring?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
at the end of
you wanted a tar. Sorry. Explain.
what?
The end. Explain it.
At the end, so spoilers. I guess this is extreme. This is a niche of a niche, but at the ending of Tar, starring Cate Blanchett, she is a disgraced orchestra, a disgraced conductor who was like high society, New York, etc. But she was disgraced, and the end of the movie is her doing something like Sonic Symphony, but for Monster Hunter, which I thought was. Like, and it's like it's like, and now Monster Hunter or whatever they say, and it's
I
like
believe it's Monster Hunter World.
Monster
Thank you
World,
very much.
right? And she's like starts conducting, and that's like the end. That's like a hard gut punch of the end of the movie. Also, the credits of Tar start at the beginning. That's why it was an obnoxiously long credit sequence, because it was literally the ending credit sequence.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's. I like to think that there was like a Lydia Tar in the orchestra. So the whole time I was going to Nick, I was like, these stupid kids, these freaking
If I have
nerds.
to listen to this Chao theme song one more time.
So like obviously they played a bunch of the hits. The orchestra section at the beginning was orchestral arrangements of Sonic 1, Sonic 2, the video games, and Sonic and Knuckles, and then a couple of adventure, not the iconic like City Escape, Live and Learn stuff, but rather
They did an orchestral of Believe in Yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Which I thought was really weird. I mean, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. In fact, that's one of my favorite songs from Sonic Adventure or Sonic in general. So I was a happy camper, but it felt really weird that they only did like 2 orchestral like songs from something later.
Yeah.
And then they just ended.
I think it was cut for time, or rather like they're fudging for time. So it's like, well, the kids love the rock stuff, so they gotta.
It definitely did feel like, how can I word this? There was we want to do this symphony, but we know the kids want this rock and roll. So let's do like
the first third is the symphony.
Yeah.
The first third is the symphony, and the final 2/3 will end with the rock concert. So
Yeah.
you get your City Escape, right?
Exactly.
Which I to a degree I get, but I'm like, you can challenge the audience, because remember, these are Sonic nerds. These are
Yeah,
Sonic
I think they would have
fans.
been happy no matter what.
1000%. And I think you underestimate. I'm doing a made up argument here, but I think they might have underestimated how much people really do love the orchestral stuff. And I mean, look, if you're a Sonic fan, you're probably an anime fan, and anime fans love orchestral arrangements of stuff. Oh my god! So you could do a half and half. You could definitely do a half and half.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they should have done for more orchestral stuff?
I mean, I would have preferred more. Give me an orchestral City Escape, man.
Okay, that one in particular, that one's such a meme, such a cultural
Well, I
phenomenon.
know. Well, honestly, I just wanted more variety from the newer stuff. So
Right, because so we did. This was another thing that we noticed where it was a lot of. We didn't recognize a number of the songs.
Well, I should stress, I pretty much only know Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Exactly, and I know I know Heroes, Shadow, like again, our era of when Sonic was the biggest for us in the game. So that was about the mid 2000s. Once it got to like Frontiers, Colors, while it sounded totally cool and stuff,
There was a lot more metal than I was expecting.
yes, and but that's just the way they've been trending, I think, because Crush 40 is definitely butt rock is the core of their sound, but it's also they trend towards a lot of metal as well, and I think the fandom has just been trending towards that too. So I mean, you got to cater to
Oh, for sure.
to what they like, and I didn't mind it. But definitely, a lot of the Frontier stuff was way more metal than I thought it was going to be.
For sure.
Yeah.
Would you go again?
I would absolutely go again.
Same,
And
exactly.
I hope in a year's time, I didn't know it was only like 2 years old, Sonic Symphony. 'Cause, right? Did you mention?
I
you
did
hear that?
actually know that, yeah.
Okay, because like I thought they've been going for a lot longer because this is such an obvious thing to do. It's totally cool, but I hope that as this show grows, I hope Sonic Symphony grows, and that eventually when they do come, I hope they do a yearly thing in Chicago. We can see some of you out there. Hey, this is Dominic in post-production, and I just wanted to say that every time Maria and the stock footage of Maria getting shot popped up on screen, the crowd just went crazy. It was the funniest shit ever. And we can just meet up. So actually, when we got the seats in the auditorium theater, I thought I got pretty good seats. It was on the lower level, and but it was among the crowd. It was among the peasants.
Yeah, the poor
you
people.
wanted a box seat.
Yeah. I'm very upset at you. I thought you were getting me a birthday present. Instead, you're like, here's a poor person present. I think not.
I think it would have definitely given me a lot more room to like thrash because you.
Oh yeah, you were held back.
I was so.
He would have been like moshing if he had the ability to.
So I'm very lucky in the sense that to my left was Nick and to my right was an empty seat, and then there was a person after that empty seat, and that was like just enough room for me to like move the way that I do.
He was skanking.
I would have skanked. Actually, I genuinely would have skanked.
That's very funny.
If dude, we need a Sonic ska game.
Game? What does that mean? You want like Guitar Hero
like
ska
literally-
cover bands?
Not like literally a whole game dedicated to Sonic ska. Although I would play the shit out of that, but it like the soundtrack needs that because like every Sonic soundtrack has an era, has like a sound to it.
So you want Sonic's next era to be ska?
Maybe not the whole era, but one game. I want one game to have ska because that would fit. That would so. Don't tell me that wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't fit.
Why not?
What? Because I mean, it's got to be good music.
Shut the fuck up. I'm not a ska stan, but I do like it.
No,
a
you're
lot.
ska Dominic. Why would I call you Stan?
That's really bad. That's actually legitimately bad. Like not even in a good way.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm just asking the questions, man.
But I don't know. I can hear it. Maybe you can't. But anyway, yes. Next time, do you want me to get box seats for you?
I'll hold you to this.
Okay.
Do we know how expensive they were?
I think it was like an extra $100 per ticket.
That's so expensive.
But by then, we'll be making enough money through YouTube ads.
Is that our goal? Is to make enough money in YouTube ads so it can be in the box office of the Sonic Symphony?
The box seats, we'll be in the box office.
Yeah, well, because it's our show now. And we'll go host Sonic Symphony.
Yeah. Well, anyway, either way, did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, no, I had a blast. Thank you so much.
You had a good 3D blast. See,
That was a bad joke.
That's a good joke.
That was a bad
That's
joke.
a good pun.
No.
All right, let's read this thing. France has a navy. You genuinely, I'm not letting this go. You know that France has a navy, right? Okay, a very powerful one.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like number 2.
They're like number 4 or 5, yeah.
Who's number 2?
I think the UK. Britannia rule the waves.
Okay.
That's their whole thing.
Whatever.
We're reading Sonic the Hedgehog number 18. Release date, November of 1994. Publication date, January of 1995.
Yeah, I don't know how
So
that
this
works.
is the third year of the Clinton presidency. First term now. Wedding Bell Blues, Part 1. Script by Mike Kanternovich and Ken Penders. Penciled by Dave Bannock. You put here for pencils, penicillins. It looks like penicillin.
That
Or
is
is that how they-
actually exactly? Every single time I copy it exactly how it's written on the comic.
Got it. Okay.
So that's
Interesting.
how it says penicillians. You can actually look right now if.
Yep, you're correct. Okay. We open on the Freedom Fighters preparing what looks to be some sort of production in a barn. Everyone doing their part. Sonic is cutting some wood. Rotor is pulling on a rope that caught Antoine by his leg, and now he's hanging upside down. And Buns is helping Sally with Sally's wedding dress.
I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I actually didn't notice this before. Sonic's face as Antoine is like being held upside down. Sonic is just like pointing and laughing, and the artisticness. Who drew this?
Penciled by Dave Bannock.
Dave, you did good, kid.
It's on the screen right now. It is, if you're watching this, but I'll describe it, is that it is like hysterical. Sonic is hysterically laughing, like bulging eye,
Yeah, like
belly
he looks
laughing,
like, it's
hand on belly, other hand pointing.
It's like a more intense version of Nelson laughing in The Simpsons.
Yes, you're correct.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's a beautiful image. It's a beautiful
so
image.
funny.
Sally is lamenting the fact that she agreed to go through with this wedding. Peeking around the corner of the room Sally is in, there's a motobug eavesdropping. A motobug is a robot that resembles a ladybug. Purple body, yellow face, 2 antennas coming out of its head, and a wheel where one would expect legs. Motobug, having heard about this wedding, zooms straight to Robotropolis to report back to the evil doctor himself. Crabmeat comes running in with the message from Motobug. Robotnik reads the message and immediately crumples up the note and throws it away. Impossible news. Sonic and Sally would never get married. However, Crabmeat, realizing the insanity of the news just delivered to Robotnik, picked up a copy of the Robotropolis Times, a newspaper with a reputation for accurate reporting. Still, Robotnik, while entertaining the idea, is not sold. He calls over Batbrain, a robot purple bat with no mouth and a jet engine where feet would be expected. Robotnik orders Batbrain to do some reconnaissance and to report back to Robotnik. We cut back to Sonic and Sally. Sonic talking about how tomorrow is the big day and asking if Sally still wants to go through with the wedding. Sally responds by saying, "That's a silly question. You know as well as I do that we've come too far to back out now. Besides, this was all your idea in the first place." Just then, Batbrain flies through the window. Sonic throws a book at them, and they fly away, reporting the information of Sonic's wedding to Robotnik. Robotnik is now addressing his robot army like Patton. Military helmet, baton, and standing in front of a giant R flag. "I suppose you're all wondering why I called you here today. Well, wonder no more. Gentlemen, we have a wedding bash to crash. For far too long, Sonic the Hedgehog and his ridiculous band of freedom fighters have thwarted my best efforts. That's because our best efforts haven't been good enough. But no more. Today is the day that we destroy them once and for all. Many of you will not return from the coming conflict. Frankly, I could care less. All that matters is that our objective is achieved. At any cost. Onward, troops, to victory." End of part 1.
Good job as always.
Thank you. That growl was killing me, and I regret it immediately.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep practicing those Robotnik voices in a proper way.
There might be another speech coming up.
That's fine, and that's my fault, so yes. This is my cross to bear.
I mean, I don't have much to say. There's a wedding
It's a
going
setup.
on.
It's a setup.
It's all set up. I have a lot of complaints for the next one.
What do you think about the R flag, the Robotnik flag?
I didn't describe it. So I don't think, I mean, I called it a flag because I wanted to immediately
invoke the patent
thing. I don't think it's an actual flag. It looks like it's just on the wall. And it is
General George S. Patton, by the way, from World War II. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess I should have.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's just like a giant R, and then it looks like it's got like a hypnotizing ring almost going around it.
Yes, but it doesn't complete the hypnotism ring. To me, it honestly looks like the Looney Tunes logo.
I was about to say it after you were done talking.
I believe you. I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the only thing I can think of, but instead of it being orange, it's purple and white.
Right.
I don't like how it looks.
Me neither. It's too evocative of, well, the Looney Tunes, and the R, it looks too elegant. Why is that R elegant? It should be cold and robotic. It should be like a corporate flag.
Elegant wasn't the word I was going to use. I was thinking more cartoony.
You're right, cartoonish. I just think it has like those flares.
You're right, though. It's not.
Elegant is not the best term for it. You're right, cartoony, but
either way, you're right. It should be cold.
It's got those ornamentations.
It needs to be sharper.
Yes, 100%. And it's, God, even there, it really looks like the Looney Tunes logo. Porky Pig jumping out of that thing. Doesn't help that he's also big. But yeah, I think this orgy of violence from the robots is really funny, actually.
Robotnik's like, come on, we're gonna go do this thing, and they like form a mosh pit or something.
Yeah, and they're like killing each other. It's really funny.
Yeah, that's part 1.
Wedding Bell Blues, Part 2. The wedding ceremony has commenced. Sonic is at the altar, holding Sally's hand. A penguin we've never seen before is officiating, naked. The freedom fighters are in the audience, Tails and Rotor crying. Antoine is sitting unimpressed. We have new members of the Royal Guard in attendance. A skunk, fox, 2 birds, 1 orange and purple bird, and a dog. The officiant penguin is at the part of the service of "Speak now, or forever hold your peace." When we hear off-screen a SWAT bot saying, "Stop the wedding." It's a robot.
Yeah, no, it's just very funny how you said it.
In comes an army of machines, SWAT bots, Caterkiller, Buzz Bombers, Coconuts, Crabmeat, Burrowbot, Roller, Slicer, and Splats, all charging Sonic and Sally. Sonic jumps into action, spin dashing from one enemy to the next. Sonic, realizing that there's too many of the robots, grabs Sally and rushes out of the ceremony. However, outside, Snibbly was standing there with an army of SWAT bots ready to attack. Sonic, while carrying Sally, rushes back into the building where the wedding was being held. Sonic rushes to the second floor and drops Sally off, finds a rope, and swings into action, taking out a bunch of SWAT bots in the process. Robotnik walks in, assuming that he has already won, and sees Sonic at the altar, taunting him. He looks around and asks, "Where's Sally?" "Up here, Dr. Robotnik. Since Sonic raised the curtain, it gives me great pleasure to bring down the house." Sally cuts a rope and curtains fall on Robotnik, pinning him to the ground. Sonic walks up to Robotnik and says, "You were never much of a stickler for detail, Robo-Butt. Next time, try reading the fine print. Your bogus laws state no singing, dancing, or music in Robotropolis. But you never said anything about summer stock, Doc." Sonic pulls out the Robotropolis Times and shows that it says, "It's official. Sonic and Sally tie the knot," in the Village Player production of Our Wedding. That's right. Sonic and Sally were just putting on a play the entire time. We cut to Sonic and the Freedom Fighters cleaning up the mess from Robotnik's invasion. Sonic jokes to Sally that they weren't cut out for showbiz. Sally responds by saying, "Oh, I don't know. You'll always be my leading man. Plus, this whole thing is the perfect place for our wedding. Wouldn't you agree, Sonic?" Sonic darts off, saying, "It's not that I have anything against marriage, kids, but since I'm a great catch, she'll have to catch me first." And Sonic runs off into his loveless future. End of part 2.
I hate this issue so fucking much.
You hate this story.
Yeah, this story.
Yeah.
I hate I hate the setup. I hate what they're trying to do. I hate the fact that they did this so quickly after they already like played with the idea of Sonic and Sally marrying 2 issues earlier.
Yeah.
Like it's literally been a month. Calm down, guys. What are you doing? Why are you teasing this kind of plot line again in a story that was obviously not going to be them marrying? And then the whole premise of them like setting up a stage play, they do it in a way where like there's no stage. People are acting like they're actually getting married. Tails is crying, Rotor's crying.
Here's the thing that gets me. The idea of ambushing Robotnik with a big event.
It's not ambushing him. There's no plan. They're just putting up a play. This is the thing that pisses me off.
No. I understand they're putting on a play. That's the bait and switch. But here's the problem. Why did they need a legal loophole to do it?
Well, okay, true. You're right.
Everything is they're being genocided.
Well,
right?
yeah.
So why do you need a legal loophole?
The thing that pisses me off about this is I thought the whole point of this was to be like an ambush to attack Robotnik.
That is exactly what happens.
And no, that's not what happens.
Well, show me. So what is
That's
it?
not the plan. They're just putting on a play. And
Scroll down to the play reveal. I guess it's implied.
No, it's not implied.
Keep scrolling down all the way to the reveal. There, that bottom of the page.
But it's not. What are you trying to say here?
I'm trying to say is that what wound up happening was what they planned. You're saying that they're not?
No. Like, if this was a plan to attack Robotnik and his, like, underlings,
right,
then it should have been, like, hey, here's a trap door for everyone to fall into or something, and everyone stands aside. Instead, it's like a free-for-all bash that, like, Sonic needs to get Sally out of there because it's too dangerous, and then he runs outside, and they're surrounded, so he literally has to run back inside to hide Sally because it's such a shit show. Like, this isn't an ambush. This is them putting on a play, and Robotnik can't arrest them because it's not against the law.
You know what? I think I assumed this story was put together much smarter than that.
That's the thing. I was actually pissed when I was done reading the story because I was like, the setup doesn't make sense, and they're trying to hide this whole play aspect to play with the idea that they're doing a real wedding, which was clearly never going to happen. And like, I don't know what they're playing with. And I think Ken Penders pitched the other fucking story where they just did a wedding because Under the Dome they did the fake wedding, and it was Ken Penders again. Ken Penders, the only fucking storyline he's got going right now is like, if I swear to God, if there's another fake wedding in 2 issues, I'm gonna punch someone.
I hope this is the most controversial thing that comes from Ken Penders.
I can only assume this is why so many people are very
it was issue 18.
It was 18. Everyone was just like he screwed up.
He killed the pacing. That's the reason.
He just keeps on doing these wedding stories. I don't know why.
No, I think what literally because I see what you're saying now. I think I literally assumed a better story.
Yeah, I know. And like, I think a lot of people probably do because like in your head, you kind of insert the fact that this is like an ambush.
Because it does like the end result is similar to an ambush. But the thing is,
I reread this story because I was like, wait a minute. Was this a planned ambush?
Right.
Because I don't remember seeing.
No, you're right. Now that I'm looking at the page, you're right. I'm with you now. I'm with you now. It's because that was still a plot hole for me, which was like, why do they need an excuse to put on a play if they're being hunted to the death? Their mere presence out in the open.
Well, and then on top of it, I was just like, well, why aren't they doing the play in Knothole?
Right.
Why are they going out to this barn?
Yeah. That's why I assumed it was an ambush.
That's why I assumed it too, which is why I reread the story.
That's really bad. This is bad.
I know. This is bad. Like from a story, you ask one question and it all falls apart.
Yeah. 100%.
And that pisses me off. And then on top of it, Robotropolis Times Gazette did do a good job informing and reporting on it that it is a play that Robotnik didn't finish reading the newspaper.
To be fair, that I could see anyone in power doing.
Okay, but his underlings, crab meat, screwed the pooch there.
I can also see them just being stupid enough where they didn't read the whole thing. But my question is, what is journalism like on Robotnik's side?
I assume
it's like an aggregate or like a news aggregate where it just observes things. It's like not a person, and it's not like an actual news desk.
I assume there's like a robot bird with like a reporter's hat and like a cigarette in his ear.
Okay.
And he's doing his job. But it's very biased towards Robotnik.
Of course, it's not. But it's not. I would imagine like an algorithm that's just plugging away and like printing out random
AI
articles,
is doing,
which is obviously our thing because that's, or rather like our view of it because that's what's happening now. But yeah, no, that is what they would do back in the 90s. Is there would just be a robot bird or whatever, a robot reporter. That's really funny. Can we talk about how the audience for this play is all royal guards?
Yeah,
and none of them fight.
Again, another reason why I was just like, wait, is this an ambush? Because it was all like royal guards and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like waiting for it. Is this going to be like a Red Wedding type shit where it's like, okay, that's pretty smart. I thought they were
all going to have like guns.
Go, I was waiting for that too. Go up to the crowd. Yeah. When they're putting on the play still. Yeah, it's all guards and Rotor, but the fighters, right?
Yeah. Except for this penguin who is just naked.
Well, they chose penguin because it's like a tuxedo thing, right?
Oh, you're 1,000% correct. I never even... Well, maybe. I don't know. I think you're right. If I was making those kind of decisions, that's exactly the logic I would have used.
Yeah. My initial critique was like, why weren't there guards outside? Oh, it's an ambush. But it's not. So there should have been guards outside.
Yeah, I the more I read, the more I'm like, I should just be in charge of the freedom fighters. Because, I mean, we would have killed that guy a while ago. Yeah, I hated this one.
We are getting more robots from the games. So Mobo Bug is one of the first enemies that you encounter in Green Hill Zone from the first Sonic. A lot of times it's a color swap, or there's
the colors aren't accurate for some reason.
They're not, and I'm okay with that because
I'm okay with it too. It just seems weird.
It does seem weird, but I think the color. It's like. Well, I think they're worse color patterns, but I can see the logic of like, okay, color palette for the game doesn't quite translate to a color palette.
Well, I also, I always wonder how expensive it is to have certain colors and stuff.
Yeah, very true. That's an economic decision.
Yeah. I wonder if there's reasons for, because I know like, or like how easily it is to print. Like I know Hulk was originally gray, right? Because they couldn't do green very well.
Sure.
But also that was like the 70s. So.
Right.
Completely different.
Are you okay?
What?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you good now?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you mean because I was angry?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen a lot, I think, with this comic. Because it's very frustrating. Honestly, this issue is probably my least favorite so far.
Well, I don't know. Let's get to the last story.
It's still there. I also have very strong opinions about this last issue.
Got it. Okay, let's go. In the Still of the Night, or Princess Sally's Crusade, Part 2. Script by Ken Penders and Mike Kinternovich. Penciled by Art Mahwini. We open on Sonic, Sally, Tails, and Rotor all wearing welding masks, while Rotor takes a welder to the crystal ball that was found in Sonic number 17's First Star I See Tonight. Rotor has run every test he can think of, and he has yet to scratch the surface of the crystal ball. As Rotor is performing more tests, a squirrel walks into the room. An older squirrel with white hair, a blue nose, blue dress, and red cape. Princess Sally, might I have a word with you? 'Tis important. Yeah?
Yeah.
She's a little older, though. Let me try that again. Princess Sally, might I have a word with you? 'Tis important.
Much better.
Yeah, it's like more, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Certainly, Rosie. I'll be right there. Sally walks away from Rotor and Sonic, and she has a conversation with this Rosie. We cut back to Rotor, saying the orb is a type of force field, and it's masking its true nature. Until they get the orb open, they won't know the true nature of the orb. Rotor and Sonic turn to Sally to ask what she thinks of the situation, but Sally walks right past them in a daze. Sonic goes to see what's up with Sally, but Rosie puts her hand on Sonic's shoulder, saying, "Not this time, laddie. 'Tis a matter she must be dealing with in her own way." Sonic and Tails ask why they can't help. Rosie responds by saying that there are some roads that must be taken alone. We cut to Sally in a room with a grandma-looking squirrel. Old lady glasses that rest low on the bridge of her nose, gray hair. She's laying in a bed, almost as if she's on her deathbed. She beckons Sally to come over to her.
I'm going to interrupt here. I don't ever call this person by their name. I missed the fact that her name is Julayla or Julayla.
Julayla. Julayla?
Julayla. I'm not sure. I would have referred to her by her name if I realized that they said it.
Sally, come closer, my child. No.
Yeah, you're going to destroy yourself.
I am. So Uncle Chuck was like this. I'm going to need a minute. I'm going to cut a lot of this. Sally. This is what voice actors do.
Yeah, you gotta do the handshake.
Sally, come closer, my child. Why is she also Irish?
Honestly, that's a safe assumption.
Rosie was Irish. Rosie was legit Irish.
Yeah.
She had laddie and ye.
Yeah.
Ye.
For some reason.
No, but I think because I did read this one. I don't think she's Irish. Sally, come closer, my child, that these aged eyes might come clearly see. They are, to all things, a season, and time is in short supply. I think it's darker. I think not darker, but a deep voice. You bear them. Jeez, as I voice crack. Should I do voice cracks? I don't know. You bear the mantle of lead. No, I'm just doing Morty. I'm just going to power through it. Okay, I'm just going to power through it. You bear the mantle of leader with honor and grace. Though you might have longed for other paths, the duties of your birthright could not be denied. From the beginning you studied long and hard, ever growing in knowledge and spirit, and as your teacher, I would have accepted no less. Each day brought new lessons and fresh challenges. We cut to young Sally. This old teacher holds out an acorn. She asks Sally to snatch it out of her hands. She tries to grab the acorn, but the teacher maneuvers at the last second, and Sally can't grab it. The old lady speaks. This ceremonial acorn has been a symbol of your heritage for 12 generations, and once you have successfully claimed it, you will have mastered the most important discipline of all. The old lady starts reminiscing. None were prouder than I at your commencement ball. We see a young Sonic and a white tux dancing with Sally. Nor were more sorrowful on the day your father, the king, was taken from us. We see Sally and this old lady in the foreground, crying and hugging. Behind them is the ruins of a great city. This was long ago, and you have since grown much. Let us discover together exactly how much. She holds out an acorn again. Sally looks, thinks to herself, and then kicks the old lady's hand. The acorn goes flying up, and Sally snatches it out of the air. An elegant solution. Such wisdom cannot be taught. It must be acquired. You are ready. Farewell, beloved one. We cut to Sally, sitting on a stump beneath the stars. Sonic walks up and asks Sally if everything is all right. Sally says she's just feeling a little lonely. Sonic puts his hand on Sally's shoulder and says, Tonight is almost yesterday, Sally, and there are many more tomorrows ahead. The sun begins to rise above the horizon. Today is a new day. End of part 2. You didn't like it? I liked it.
I don't... Okay. So we open with the squirrel that we don't know who they are.
Right. They're talking about an ore, but then the squirrel comes in.
Exactly. And I think it's insane that they introduce a new character and they don't acknowledge them in any way, shape, or form. I'm with that. That is weird.
Okay, you could say that the flashback is the introduction.
But it's a different character.
Oh, you're talking about Rosie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Rosie is the caretaker. Clearly. You can infer it.
I can't.
Why not? If you see a character that's like, hey, come in here, and then the next page or two is an old lady that's on her deathbed, you can surmise that it's a caretaker.
I feel like they should have had like one image of the caretaker caretaking.
I agree. They should have done that.
Then I would be like, yeah, of course.
Like holding a tray of tea or something.
I think you are being, what's the word I'm looking for? You're just assuming relationships here when this Rosie could be anyone.
Could be.
I mean, why is she like Scottish?
The Scottish take care of their own.
But by your definition, she's not related. So that's not her own.
I don't know. The truth is,
damn straight you don't. Because they're just throwing stuff at the wall right now.
Okay, got it. So you want everything handed to you on a silver platter?
Yeah, if only Rosie's giving it to me. No, I just think they could at least set things up in a little bit better of just like, oh, Rosie, I haven't seen you since you were my helper. So clearly everyone knows who Rosie is for some reason.
Yeah, another relationship that we can infer, like all the royal guards or all the citizens of Knothole.
And then they introduce another character that they don't explain their relationship at all.
I'm not completely satisfied by this either, but you can, again, infer it seems to be like a caretaker force out, a mother figure. I don't think it's the mother, because I think it's a cat. Or maybe Sally's a cat. Maybe Sally is a cat-squirrel hybrid.
Oh, I guess this is a cat. I called her a squirrel, but...
No, that's definitely cat energy.
That's definitely cat. She's got whiskers.
Yeah, she got whiskers.
Does Rosie? So if anything, Rosie is...
Rosie could be this, yeah.
She could be like an ant or something.
No, maybe King Squirrel, I don't know his name. King Acorn. King Acorn, thank you. King Acorn.
Fucked a cat?
Yeah, maybe the queen cohort is, or whatever, queen is a cat. And it's like, oh, you're married now. It was like a Prince Edward situation where it was like, do you really love this American divorcee? And he was like, yes, I abdicate the throne. Oh shit, I didn't think he was actually going to do it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then Robotnik came in. So this is the history of... So in the 30s, there was a year of the Three Kings.
Okay.
Where one British monarch died. Mm-hmm. The son took over, but then the son, within a few months, was like, hey, I want to... And he was coronated. He's a king now. But he's like, I want to marry this woman that I love. And the British, like, the rest of the family... and
was like, no?
No, because she's a divorcee.
Yeah.
And...
Tainted blood.
Well, that, and also, the divorcee is alive. Like, the ex-husband
So if they divorced, but then the ex-husband was dead, it'd be cool?
Yes. So the true solution should have been
to kill him.
Murk the ex-husband.
Yeah, why was this even a conversation?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're the king. No, I'm kidding.
It's extremely low on the British war crimes here.
but no, anyway. So then I think it was Edward. Edward the whatever number. And so he was like, no, I want to marry Wallace Simpson. So he was like, I abdicate. Oh, shit. Well, we got to take the brother now. So, brother, you're the new king. And now we have a year of the Three Kings.
So the bloodline right now is like the rejected bloodline?
What?
Because I assume the king, it was his kids that...
No, he didn't have kids.
Oh, okay.
Because he wasn't married. And the brother took over. He had kids who would eventually be Queen Elizabeth.
Gotcha.
And oh my God, I forget his name. The King's Speech.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Okay. Either way, that king with a stutter.
Yeah.
He led the nation through World War II.
Oh, well, King Acorn led his nation through a genocide where he died. So...
Where he got genocided. Maybe, we don't know for sure. But anyway, so this cat is...
Well, okay, now I've got problems.
What?
Because why is a cat, like, the keeper of, like, squirrel knowledge?
What? I mean...
Why does this cat have this, like, acorn that's been passed through generation? 14 of them. 14 generations. Why does this cat have this acorn?
Why not?
You're on the logic of the writers now.
But okay, should they have explained it a little more? Sure, but for now, all that you need to know, because the story is still ongoing.
Is it?
Look, they don't resolve the orb thing.
Man,
And at the very last panel says this is the end, but I don't know. I need to read it. Sorry, this is definitely not the end, but a beginning.
Okay.
Because you're right, they just ditched the orb plot, and I'm assuming it's like an A plot, B plot thing.
Okay. So I guess my question: what have we learned?
We've learned a lot about the backstory of Princess Sally, or at least in terms of like her emotional like background. So this is clearly like she has a lot going for her. She's like the being a princess. This is a very classic like royalty story where it's like, hey, you are great expectations are made of you, princess. And when you grow up, you will inherit all of this and you need to prepare for it. And it shows her training, both her brain and her body. And, and it's all symbol. It's all condensed into this like Mr. Miyagi kind of snatched this thing from my hand. And I thought it was pretty clever, albeit funny, that Sally's solution was to let me just kick this old lady's hand. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, that was pretty rad. I just don't get why the cat is I get that she's a teacher. I just don't know.
Of some kind. We just don't know. Is this her mother? Is this, the royal, teacher that teaches the...
Yeah.
But
I like to think of it as like, did you ever play Ocarina of Time?
No.
Zelda has like a person, I guess she's technically a bodyguard.
Sure.
But she's kind of like, she also teaches a lot and whatnot and is like just around her all the time. That's kind of what, in my mind, I'm envisioning this relationship to be like.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of kingdoms have royal tutors that raise a young prince or princess.
Yeah, and that person is more like their parent.
Yeah, definitely.
See,
a lot of times.
That's what I would have... I don't know how you would have expanded into that realm.
You can infer it.
No, because next issue they're going to be like, yeah, so that cat was a spy.
Potentially, yes, you're right. But you can see you can't see what's going on here, Nick.
I'm just saying.
Can you see the bare bones relationships happening?
I can.
You just need
do not trust these writers.
Have you read ahead?
No.
Okay.
I super have not. I literally don't know what's happening.
Right.
I don't trust these writers to stick to these relationships that you're inferring.
I agree as well, but this is also the first time we've seen anything. This is the deepest story we've seen yet. That wedding shit that dominated the first, 2/3 of this issue, that's some Looney Tunes shit that we've been seeing this whole time. This feels different. Are you with me on that?
No, I mean, it does feel like they finally are sitting down and trying to flesh out the world.
Yes. And put some more emotional, gumption to these characters, and particularly Princess Sally, his whole destiny thing. Now, granted, I think a lot of that is cringe, just because it's like, oh, monarchy. But in terms of this relationship, it's a classic like royal be prepared, young princess.
Sure.
And we will, and great things are expected of you. I do agree, though, they probably could have done better showing what exactly the roles of these people are. Because it's like, okay, Rosie, sure, you can... What? And then Julayla... Yeah, who is Julayla?
Julayla is the old cat.
I'm sorry. Correct. You are correct. What I'm saying is, like, what is her... I am going back to your argument. It's just that, like, I'm inferring it. For me, it's just enough. For you, it is not working at all for you.
No,
Just a throwaway line being like,
honestly,
yeah, hey, it's me, Rosie, your royal caretaker Julayla is sick. Yeah, it's like, yeah, just one of those, right?
But okay, is this a memory?
That is no, that's not a memory. That's real. That's happening.
Are you sure? No,
yes.
This is like her going through her mind.
No, whoa.
Are you kidding me? Why do you think she's like hypnotized here?
That you're thinking about that too
No,
much.
Bull fucking shit.
No, go down. Go down.
No, this fucking squirrel comes in and is like, I want to have a conversation with you.
Do we agree Rosie's real? Do we agree Rosie's real?
Yeah, because Sonic and Tails have a conversation with her.
Okay, yes, thank you.
I think Rosie, comes in and this fucking magic ball like puts Sally in a trance and is like forcing her to deal with some dark shit that she's never dealt with.
This sounds rad. Are you sure you have not read ahead?
Yeah, no, of course not. But like, why else do you think she'd be in hypnotized? Like, otherwise, this panel right here where she's hypnotized makes no fucking sense.
It's not. I don't think that's hypnotism. I think that's just bad. I think
she's just having a flashback.
No,
she's having a like flashback here.
Well, that's more likely than the hypnotism. But I also think it's just her like being hurried, surprised, and like there's an urgency.
To where? Where's she going?
Down the hall.
Do you think this cat lady's just in Knothole Village?
Yes.
No.
She's clearly important. Look at her surroundings.
There's a window in the room.
Yeah, they have windows.
This is a dream or a flashback.
No, they've shown windows in the underground area, which is a little dumb, but you know.
No, none of this happens. This isn't real. I refuse to believe. Okay, if what you say is true, why do you think she's like in this hit? Okay,
you're heavily inferring the hypnotism. Which, hey, if next issue it turns out she's hypnotized, I'll fucking own it.
So then we need to take a step back.
Yes, we do,
and have a quick conversation.
Again. Remember, the Knothole Village is a village. I'm assuming with thousands of people in it. Thousands.
Oh no, I'm. That's not. Okay.
And it's housing the remnants of the royal house of Eggcorn,
sure,
including Sally, who's a very active member of the Freedom Fighters, but also maybe other royal members, including this Julayla.
Okay, so I have to ask. So, do you think what's happening is?
It's not her mind. It's happening, and it's like.
So Rosie comes up.
Yes.
Tells
she's like
Sally.
Yeah.
Julayla's dying.
Go back up. What does she actually say?
We don't know. It's it's a conversation that happens in the background.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you.
She's like traumatized by that information, runs to Julayla, and then has this conversation.
Yeah, maybe it's clearly on like some kind of deathbed, right? They don't show her dying.
Well, it does say farewell, beloved one.
So it's like an implied, like at least closing of her arc, right?
Okay. I'm willing to...
Yeah, she goes down, maybe not the hall, but like to another part of the village.
I'm willing to admit that you might be right. I think then my problem comes down to art direction.
I'm with it. Oh, no, that I'm with you.
Because you don't get to put in windows in fucking Knothole Village that make it look like they're going out, looking outside and stuff. And I think they need to make it clearer that this is a room that they're going into that's in Knothole.
They kind of do, because she's walking down the halls, and that's very not like you admit that hallway is Knothole.
Oh yes, this is Knothole.
And then she peeks through the door, and then it's a very elegant room. It contrasts with everything else.
And so this is a problem of both art direction and the fact that if they're going to start expanding the world, this is too
jarring.
Yes, they needed to have something happen earlier where they're like, hey, this is Julayla. She lives here in Knothole with me. This is Rosie. It doesn't even have to be like I live here in Knothole, but they should have at least shown a room that looks like the one that Julayla's dying in. When you
it does come out of nowhere. So I'm a little conflicted on that, just because I am a big fan of showing, not telling.
Oh, I agree too.
But this is too jarring.
Yes.
For you, and I can see that as well.
I am conceding that you probably are right after having this conversation, because of the fact that
there is a transition panel.
Yeah. Well, because I saw this image and instantly assumed hypnotism or something. Bad. And so that's where my mind went when I read this story. But after having this conversation with you, I talked it through what we just did. And I'm like, you know what? You probably are right. This is probably all happening. And she's just like she's just freaking out because her face is dying.
I will admit that if you think it's hypnotism, that's just, then the penciler failed their job. Well, like instead of being more shocked, it should have been more like concerned shocked.
I mean, this looks like hypnotism to me. That's why I'm like...
Okay, fair enough.
So, but you're right. If they drew it so it's more concerned, I don't think that would have ever crossed my mind.
Additionally,
but also drawing shocked is what they're going for. Like, I get how that happened. Mm-hmm. So then, while I normally am a fan of showing, not telling, maybe they should have, the frame before, shown some of the conversation between Sally
Rosie should have just said something's happened.
Yes, actually. ... Yes.
Because that alone.
Yeah, that was my problem. Like, it
wasn't clicking for you?
Well, that and like
I can see how it wouldn't click for you because it is very sudden. Like, they're introducing.
Honestly, I get that they introduced this ball and they have to quote like deal with it. Mm-hmm. If they didn't show the ball, I wouldn't have thought hypnotism or anything at all.
Okay.
Like, and then I would have been a lot more like, oh, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
I get that they're like, we need to deal with this ball that happened in last issue, but we're not doing anything with the ball. If anything, like, don't even acknowledge it.
I don't, for the purposes of this story, just this story right now, I think it is sloppy to introduce a character whose sole purpose of this story is to simply introduce another character. So Rosie into Julayla is what I'm saying. That's very, and like the mechanics of it, that's very harsh.
Yeah. I don't want to harp on this for too long.
Yeah.
But I want to show what I went through when I read this. Mm-hmm. It's Rotor talking to Sonic.
Yes.
The orb is a force field masking the true nature of what's inside, and until we find some way to crack it open.
So your head's right. Your head's there. That's where your head's
force field. Instantly, like, oh, there's like something going on where
motherfucker. Now I'm on your side again. And God damn it!
And then immediately after, she looks like she's hypnotized.
It looks damn it.
Yeah, and then Sonic immediately afterwards says, "Talk about dazed and confused."
I'm with you again. I think I'm with you now. I think I'm with you. I'm with you now a little bit. Maybe she is. Maybe she's going through. Maybe she's doing some Spec Ops: The Line shit.
Yeah, exactly. where she just starts murdering Mobians. That's why. That is why my mind, like, there's like three panels in a row.
She starts blasting white phosphorus at the robot.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
That'd be fucking sick. Not that that's sick, but anyway.
But that's why my mind was like, oh, this isn't happening. I acknowledge after our conversation that maybe this did happen.
One last thing is that go up to the coup panel where it's like it shows a quick coup right there.
Yeah.
It looks a lot more peaceful than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, no, that just looks like there was a car accident.
Yeah, 100%.
I made the imagery a lot more intense in my writing.
100. I mean, I thought that's what it should have been.
Yeah.
This seems a lot more like soft coup when it should be more like. Well, actually, we don't know. We don't know yet. So I'm
also maybe this is like hour one into the.
You're
coup.
right. You're correct. Yes, it's starting off. It's like in Star Wars Episode 3, where the opening hours of Order 66. The city is still going. I think that is one thing. So we should state that I think it's safe to say we're fans of the politics of the prequels. It's just that the movies are very sloppy.
Yeah, I can get behind
that. That's all I'm going to say right there.
You don't want me to start talking about Star Wars.
We need another 2 hours. But in terms of like the scene of Order 66 happening on Coruscant,
it's like great.
It's great. It's fantastic. And one touch is like, I like how there's still space traffic going on while this coup is happening, because that's how coups fucking work. That's exactly. Did you see that footage during 2020?
Yes.
Of the Myanmar.
Yep.
Of the woman doing calisthenics. I'm explaining now to the audience of the woman doing calisthenics online for people to do at home. And in the background, you can see like the armed
tanks.
Convoy.
Yeah.
At the very least, like souped up SUVs with guns on them, like moving to overthrow the government.
And it's actually so much weirder and more ominous because it's like a empty road. Like they stop traffic
because it's 2020, right?
Yeah. And then they just start driving down behind her. It's very haunting.
But it's like, this is so fucking 2020, where it's this woman doing calisthenics just keeps on going. But anyway. So very last thing is that Sonic and Sally really are childhood friends because they went to like the ball
That
together.
is actually the thing that I liked about this.
You did like it?
Yeah, where it showed that they've had a relationship for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was implied in the last issue too because it showed them laying underneath the tree looking at clouds and stuff.
But it like goes and like they really are childhood best friends.
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly. This is where I was just like, oh, they were best friends because they went to the ball together, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the thing I took away from this that I
does
really
that
liked.
betray
What?
Well, that's prequel stuff. No, that's prequel stuff because it like betrays the notion that Sonic was just a really souped up dude.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this prequel doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and I stand by that.
I just wanted him to do.
They just like picked and pulled some information from it and then disregarded everything they did in the prequels.
Yeah. So if anything, it's okay. We're good. We're good where we're at.
This episode ran maybe a little long.
Yeah, probably.
Do we want to do a Sonicgrams?
How many do we have? One?
Only the one. So I think we should hold on to till next time.
Yep. So we're gonna hold off on Sonicgrams, and we will because we don't do Sonicgrams every episode.
It's a vibes thing.
Yes,
if I feel like an episode is running short, that's what I'm like. We should do Sonicgrams.
We will likely do Sonicgram specific episodes in the future, which we have done already once.
Yeah.
So that I do apologize because that does. If you send in an email every week, we will have to catch up with that.
Yeah.
But
we will read them.
We will read them. We read them. You know, every week for sure.
And that's the issue. Only 457 left to go. I'm Nick. I stream at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus. My personal Twitter is @themojosaurus, and my Blue Sky is @Mojosaurus.
And I'm Dominic. You can follow my jazz adventures in Chicago at Blue Collar Jazz. I am posting again. And my personal Twitter and Blue Sky is @DomGuan1.
You can follow us on socials at Gotta Talk Fast. TikTok is Gotta Talk Faster. We also have a video version of the podcast where you can follow along with the panels and watch our handsome faces. You can write to the show at sonicgrams@gottatalkfast.com, ask us questions, provide corrections, and give us your opinion on this week's issue. And remember, when life keeps going fast, you gotta talk fast and just get through it. I love you. I'm gonna fucking change that outro.
Gotta talk, gotta talk.
Gotta Talk Fast was written by Nick Folkerts and edited by Dominic Guanzon. Intro and outro themes recorded by Dominic Guanzon. Gotta Go Fast originally composed by Norman J. Grossfeld, Joseph Garrity, and Russell Velasquez.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast.